It's your mommy.
Her name is Tina.
I haven't seen you in a long time. It's because I've done some pretty bad things.
And her message in tears are for the children she worries might not remember her name.
I had to go away for a little while, but as soon as I get a chance, I'll come back.
She lives here, the Hilltop Unit, a women's prison in Gatesville in Central Texas.
Our program is at 5 prisons in Texas, 5 women's prisons.
Just up the road from a corner convenience store, where a group of ladies on a Saturday morning talk through their plan over lunch.
At the end, they record.
You need the titles of the book.
It's so important.
The plan to give Tina and other women like her a chance to be moms again.
Thank you, everybody, for doing what you're doing, and we're helping lots of kids today.
All right, so I'm going to call off your names.
Once they make it behind the razor wire and inside a prison education building,
We break it into smaller groups so that everything goes more smoothly.
the volunteers gather 25 inmates, women whose crimes and convictions came at a cost to their innocent children too.
I've been gone for 6 years, so they're growing up without. I don't know which one.
They're offered a library of children's books.
You can start with a personal message. Make this a message to your child.
It records you. There's the little mic right there.
The voice of a mom and inmate recorded to a flash drive.
Very well.
Their voices then burned to CDs and mailed with the books to their children wherever they might be. But why should you care about these inmates?
Love can be loud.
Women like Fort Worth's Lucy Beasley,
Drugs.
drugs,
Selling drugs, yes.
who admits her bad choices left a 5-year-old boy behind.
Isaiah probably don't remember who I am.
Or Maisha Garcia,
Manslaughter. I felt as if my mother was hugging me.
here on a 10-year sentence for a fatal domestic violence fight with a boyfriend she claims was self-defense.
We've come a long way, and I love you. I wasn't expecting to cry.
That's a nice story.
And then they get to hear their mother. So it's a pretty special thing.
For Judith Dolnick, this is the 15th year of the Storybook Project, keeping moms who will get out of prison someday connected with their children,
Anywhere.
bridging the years with books and recorders and CDs until reformed and repentant they can resume being a mom in person.
Me being here has not changed my mind about who I am in their life, which is their mom.
She knows she's just doing something good for her child. But then when they go home, maybe that bond has been strengthened.
Just know that I'm doing all that I can to keep connected with you guys, and I love y'all, and I miss y'all very much.
And in Commerce, Texas, an hour northeast of Dallas, last Wednesday, Judith Dolnick delivered Maisha's voice in person
Hi. Hello. My name is Judith. And
to an 8-year-old and a 9-year-old living with their grandmother.
Thank you.
You're welcome. There's something inside for both of you.
I picked this book out especially for you, and I hope you like it.
Girls clinging to the books and recordings with both the joys and the tears they bring.
I'll tell you about myself. My name is Susan,
Until the day Mom comes back.
and I am in grade 2 now.
It feels good. It seems like she's here.
I want to go to the washroom. That's why
I used to crawl to the door.
I want to say that I miss her and I love her and I wish she was here right now.
when the teacher turned her head and looked at the other side of the room.
And I would never want them to lose contact with their mom.
Yes, sir.
But for inmates like Tina Dominguez from Waco, this is more complicated.
You ready to go?
She's in prison for injury to one of her children.
My stomach was queasy and I couldn't eat my cereal.
A paternal grandmother has legal custody now.
It's my hope that when they hear it, they see me. They see the mom before I got hooked on drugs, the mom before I got arrested. See how shiny they are? I just want them to know that I love them. They're amazing. They're everything that I ever wanted, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I was thoughtless, and I was careless, and I was selfish. And I guess it's just my way of letting them know that I'm still here.
Dear reading buddy,
And so
my teachers
they read,
tall like a tree.
hoping their children get a chance to listen and have a mom to look forward to.
I love you forever. I like
So everybody wins. The prison, good behavior, the mother, and especially the child.
Sometimes when you do bad things, You have to suffer the consequences. And right now, that's what's happening. When the sun peaks up,
Consequences learned, consequences shared,
turn the page.
until the day a mom and the child serving the sentence, too, can try starting over again.
But the bear snores on. Turn the page.
In Gatesville, Texas, Kevin Reece, Channel 8 News.
I love you.
How far would you travel? How far would you go to find out who saved your life?
This day is really here.
For Andy K. Joyner, it's a 2-hour drive across East Texas.
We're getting really close.
Closer to answering the questions haunting her for 2 long years. Because this was Andy K., her heart and her liver both failing. Transplants from a single donor would save her, give her back her normal life on stage, singing about the angel whose story she didn't yet know.
Tubes and lines coming out of my body, and I'm laying there curious about who this is inside of me that's keeping me alive.
That's why 2 years after the transplants, Andy K. was back on the road. She found out her angel was Stephen Dominy, a 40-year-old who died in a car crash on an East Texas highway just like this one. A man whose children, a son named Tyson and daughters Reagan and Ramsey, also wanted to know who their angel had saved.
I'm ready to meet them. Been ready for a long time.
For that meeting,
Oh my gosh.
they chose a restaurant in Nacogdoches,
This is happening.
where the hugs were awkward at first.
Hi. Hey.
The teen girls and Andy K. hesitant and shy.
I'm shaking. Yeah. And it's not because it's cold outside.
But then this happened.
This is for the both of you.
The gift of a stethoscope to hear their daddy's heart, the gift of a framed photo, and the donor's own Bible.
Thank you.
Which led to an afternoon of stories and tears, even laughter.
I felt alive. That's all I could have asked for at that moment.
I think she's just been a missing piece of our life for 2 years.
And then Reagan asked for a favor,
We have my senior night.
for one more missing piece only her dad could fill. Which is why after 100 miles more, Andy K. was in Kirbyville, Texas, with 2 more important people to meet. Stacy Dominy, the donor's only sister, and Sharon Dominy, the mom who lost her only son.
He's no sissy.
Oh, he's no sissy.
Oh my God. He's strong. I didn't know how I would react to her.
Oh,
I feel like I'm meeting my child because she is, in a way, my child. I wish I could have got to meet him.
we're having this meeting because he's not here. Is what's hard. But the happiness that you get and the joy that you get from knowing that this precious woman, was on her deathbed literally, and is now walking and talking and healthy and happy and able to be here.
Should I call you Mrs. Dominy?
No, you can call me Sharon or Mimi or whatever you feel like you want to call me.
Hopefully it's nice. I'll just call you Mom.
Oh, there you go.
But the favor Andy K. drove halfway across Texas to keep was on the football field. Senior night at Kirbyville High School. Reagan, the valedictorian, didn't have her dad to walk her across the field before the game.
Tonight she has a very special escort.
But she had his heart.
Dad's heart and liver.
Wearing her dad's Letterman's
Andy
jacket,
K. Joyner.
she had Andy K.
Ladies and gentlemen, her dad's heart is with her tonight.
Their father, he walks with me every day. He wakes me up in the morning, and he's the reason that I'm still here. He's the reason for everything for me.
Okay, you ready to turn around? Yeah, you're going to turn to me? All right.
I would do anything for them. I'm here for them always.
A lifetime. I told you. She's not getting away from us.
It makes me very happy. Yep, forever.
Forever,
I love you, girls.
saying thank you for the angel they now share.
Because of him that I'm able to do this.
In Kirbyville, Texas, Kevin Reece, Channel 8 News.
Gotta get to the bridge. bridge. That's the only high spot.
It was one hell of a day on the Dickinson Bridge. Professional rescuers and regular Joes in their own boats,
Are you wanting out of here?
bringing thousands of Hurricane Harvey survivors to higher ground.
I need the women and the children first.
Among them, at an apartment complex swallowed by Dickinson Bayou, was a woman named Pearl Smithers.
I don't even have words to say. I don't know. I just don't know.
She talked to me when together we finally reached the highway.
I'm just thankful to God that they're getting the people out and that we're alive.
219.
But then, we never heard from her again.
Okay.
Until nearly a year later, when I found her in Texas City.
Hello, Pearlie?
Yes.
You don't look like yourself.
Thank God.
Good to see you. And Kevin.
Come on in.
Thank you, thank you.
It was hard because I lost everything and I left with the clothes on my back.
Even this far down the road, almost 11 months now, it's still tough to talk about that?
It's very devastating, because you never think that you're going to find yourself in that position,
Like an estimated 7,000 people in Dickinson alone, she found herself with nothing, homeless, and afraid.
When it rains, I panic. If it starts to thunder and lightning, I think it's going to, be any type of flooding or anything, I panic. I've even gotten to the point sometimes where I just want to go in the closet and shut the door when I think it's going to rain.
Fear still evident when she asked to see the original interview.
I don't even have words to say. I don't know.
She'd never been able to see it before.
Difficult to see it?
It is. It is. But I made it, and I hope and pray that others will too,
But here you are.
I survived.
I wondered if Lee Jordan had been a survivor too. I waited with him through his Dickinson house as he searched for anything he could save. There wouldn't be much. At his home or at his arcade business a few miles away, everything was underwater. Everything was gone.
When we left that night, I was wearing a pair of slippers, gym shorts, a t-shirt. I had my wallet and a phone. That was it. Well, the last 10 months have been the 10 hardest months of our life. It really has.
But Lee Jordan had flood insurance to get him through those 10 months. His business and his go-karts along Dickinson Bayou are up and running again. His house is repaired, but it's for sale because his is a street where less than half of the families have had the money or the nerve to come back again.
You know when you go home and you step into your shower, what do you call that big silver thing in the middle of your tub?
That's the drain.
Right, that's Dickinson. All the water came to Dickinson, and it just stayed here.
We got rescued right there.
As for our other survivor, Pearl Smithers,
We waited across the parking lot.
she agreed to make a trip with us back to Dickinson,
This is where they rescued us from.
to her old apartment building still vacant and under construction, a full year later.
You mad at me for bringing you back here?
No, I'm facing my demons, and I think that's what we have to do. So, I'm okay. I'm okay.
We're not in 6 feet of water this time. Right?
Thank God.
And she thanks God that Hurricane Harvey showed her the good in people too. Money from FEMA, family, friends, and strangers helped her survive. She's in a new apartment. She's back on her feet.
When it first happened, I didn't think I'd ever get my life back together, and I cried all the time. I think I'm going to be okay. I think I can wade through this and be okay.
You realize you just said wade through this.
Yeah, I know.
But just in case she has to wade again, this time her apartment is on the second floor. In Dickinson, Texas, with photographer Taylor Lumsden, Kevin Reece, Channel 8 News.
Hi. Come in. Hi. Oh God, what's happening here?
What's happening is that teacher Jade Laswell, in the middle of another busy junior high day,
All right, so log in, check your Powtoons one last time.
has agreed to stop
Who else is missing a partner? Everybody else has their partner, yes?
and tell us about her journey.
Which one? I've had lots of journeys and adventures. Teaching or cancer or
Unfortunately, yes, it is her story. About cancer. Breast cancer, a bilateral mastectomy, chemotherapy, 8 surgeries so far, and then round number 2.
And I was actually in the middle of a reconstruction surgery in this January, when the morning of my surgery, I found a lump. My surgeon found me and sat down next to me to tell me that there were cancer cells on that lump. So we've just started over again a couple weeks ago. How do you describe where you just have that dropping feeling in your stomach where like my breath literally was taken away? Absolutely devastated and couldn't stop crying.
But what you'll notice if you're around Jade for only a few minutes at school
They were starting from the beginning.
or at home with her husband and 4 children is that instead of crying, she very much prefers to laugh instead.
Yeah. It's a very, very dark place when you're dealing with cancer. It's scary and there's a lot of scary things. And to be able to make fun of it kind of takes the power away from the cancer. You know, we're gonna laugh at you, we're gonna fight, and we're not gonna let you win. So it's nice to connect with other people who get that, who understand that fight.
She found that someone on a Friday night in Deep Ellum.
Put your hands together. Welcome Larry Garza.
Where Larry Garza's stage 4 cancer journey
So on a lighter note, I almost died.
is on stage and under the lights, offering that potential best medicine
They had girls twerking for the Lord. It was amazing.
that a fellow cancer fighter in the audience might need.
Look, I'm not racist or anything. I just want you people to go back where you came from. Straight up. And I was like, New Braunfels? Thank you all very much. Come talk to me after the show. We have a connection now.
Yes, we do. I'm your cancer girl.
Hi, what's your name?
Hi, I'm Jade.
Jade.
Hi.
You doing okay?
Yeah, fantastic.
Okay.
How are you?
Doing great.
Yeah.
Doing great. It's nice.
The 2 cancer fighters did meet after the show, shared stories,
Why do I always look like this?
shared laughs
I like to go up to people and be like, hey, babe.
for more than a half hour.
And you're gonna be fine.
Yes.
And we're gonna be fine. And we just keep going.
And we're gonna be 80 years old, like, remember when we were scared and we had cancer? Yeah, exactly.
You just have to freaking laugh through it.
You
Because
just have to.
What are your choices?
When you joke about it, you take the power away from it.
That's exactly what I said earlier. Did you hear that earlier? I said that earlier.
Joking about it to me is really important because it lightens it. As much negativity that comes with the disease, the one thing that is positive about it is community, is family, and love, really. I know it sounds mushy, but it's true.
Studies have shown that laughter does have its benefits, that people with a strong sense of humor have outlived those who don't, especially when battling something as brutal as cancer.
It's good
It's
to meet
so
you.
good to meet you.
You're gonna be great.
So Jade plans to keep busy laughing, especially when she gets news like she got last week.
Well, it came back clear as no cancer, so they're not finding any cancer in the body.
And sometimes with this cancer fight, it's just about waking up and putting one foot in front of the other and hanging on to a little tiny piece of hope that you can survive what the day is gonna bring you, because you really don't ever know.
But we do know that in her classroom, among all the positive and encouraging messages on the walls, is the one right behind her. It says, "A day without laughter is a day wasted." So here's to Jade's journey of no wasted days and laughing in the face of cancer every precious moment she can. In Deep Ellum, Kevin Reece, Channel 8 News.
We now want to go to Kevin Reece. He is in Spring, Texas, with more on today's historic train ride. Kevin.
Yeah, we followed that procession from the state funeral to this very train crossing in Spring, and I'd like to tell you that I used to live in this exact neighborhood, and I'm happy to report that appreciation for a past president was thousands strong. Before the service began at a church filled with Bush family, friends, and VIPs, Nancy Nadelsky stood outside the Bush home a few blocks away, taking one more picture of the memorial at their neighborhood gate.
He had a good run. He made a good mark on history.
And Colleen Fabaker, wanting to get her own glimpse of history, stood alone in her red, white, and blue and in her Christmas socks, as close as she could get to the church. because she wanted the Bush family to see her.
But we're here to support them, you know, and we want them to know we're supporting them.
And if the Bush family had any doubts there were Texans here to support them, those doubts would vanish by the time his casket was placed on a train to take him to College Station. Because even in the rain,
I'm excited to see the train come by.
hundreds were waiting at just the first train crossing.
Do you like a flag?
Where Jackie Stevenson was handing out American flags.
I think this is going to be one emotionally charged intersection here in a couple hours.
I just want to be a part of it.
And where Marilyn Peterson, under her umbrella, said she had to be here.
Makes me feel honored to live in this country that he was our leader.
By the time the train did arrive, the crowd was several thousand strong, with the Klein Oak High School ROTC at attention and the high school band playing Hail to the Chief. Those brief few seconds in that glimpse of the president's casket were everything to Marilyn.
I thought it was awesome. I loved it. It was worth the wait. I couldn't wait for it to come, and when it finally did, wow, my heart just skipped beats. But we all care. We love them. We feel like they belong to us.
And now, on the long journey home, belongs to history, too. In Spring, Texas, Kevin Reece, Channel 8 News.